Hello everyone, I'm Carrie Patrick for WLX-TV's Eye on St. Lucie, where we explore and discuss school policies, operations, and instructional practices. Today's show is an exciting behind-the-scenes tour of the Technology Services Department of St. Lucie Public Schools. Now, you might expect to see closets full of color-coded wires, technicians, and customer service call takers. Well, we think you're going to be surprised as you have the opportunity to take a closer look into the heart of St. Lucie Public Schools Instructional Technology Support Department, better known as ITS. You're going to see a system that is future-ready with adaptable and agile infrastructure capable of handling the load of today's multi-device users. A system that is ready to carry your child forward based on the rigorous expectations of program demands. And you're going to see, most importantly, a system that is dedicated to customer service. So come along for today's journey into the world of technology. Well, we're now here at the ITS Department of St. Lucie Public Schools, and we're getting ready to meet with Julie Kittrell, who is the ITS Program and Telecommunications Manager. She's going to give us that in-depth behind-the-scenes look that you've been waiting for. So let's go into the server room and see what she has to share with us. So Julie, we are now inside of St. Lucie Public Schools' secure server room. And this is really the highway for all of the communication that we have flowing in and out of St. Lucie Public Schools, a district of about 37,000 plus students, a lot to hold. And over time, this room actually has shrunk, which is a testament to new technologies and St. Lucie Public Schools staying on the forefront and really ahead of what we have to offer students. And that's something that I know you'll be able to talk about, because St. Lucie Public Schools is really known for its proactivity and its vision for staying ahead of what it needs to do in order to be prepared to meet all of the needs for St. Lucie Public Schools. So tell us a little bit about that.
We have had great leaders who had really great vision about what technology and education should look like in our district. And over the years, they've been very proactive and made sure that we are at the cusp or, beyond what technology we need. Right now, the big thing is wireless, everywhere. Everybody wants to be connected wirelessly. And last year, we had the opportunity to really complete a huge wireless infrastructure upgrade in all of our schools, in all of our, outlying buildings for the district. So that was a huge, huge project from last year. Also, the big thing is the internet. Everyone wants to have access to the internet to be able to, access curriculum. Everything is pretty much on the internet. Last year, we kind of had a two-lane road where, we weren't too worried about traffic jams. Every once in a while, there was a few little slowdowns, but most everything flowed back and forth. Over the summer, we were able to expand to like a 6-lane superhighway where we're not worried about anybody. There's room to speed ahead or pass or go as fast or as slow as you want to. So that's some of the really exciting things that we're, seeing and doing.
And that's a great analogy, the highway, going from 2-lane to 6-lane. And within our own county, we can experience that firsthand. So we know what it's like to be stuck in traffic and what ease it is when we're not. So as users of technology with multiple devices, we do appreciate the fact that we can connect whenever we need to, 24/7. And Julie, I know there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. You make it sound effortless and seamless, but I truly know from the team of professionals that you all have working on this, that it is a very, very time-intensive system. You've got a solid team working behind the scenes to make sure that there's monitoring going on and making sure that if there is something that needs to be addressed, you all are right on it. So how does that work?
We have lots of monitoring tools and great people that know what they're looking for. And our goal is to know what the problem is before the end users, before the customers call us and report problems. If they call, we want to be able to say, we know about that problem, we've got somebody on the way to fix it, or we're fixing it right now, and hopefully, we can even say to them, well, that's already been resolved and we don't need to worry about it. So we rely a lot on those tools and being proactive. So we can see things happening, power issues or any kind of things, even right down to the wireless access within a specific classroom. So it's really great that we have those tools available and that we know what to do with them.
And I think back on when I was in school and when you were in school, and we didn't have access to the benefit of what our students have access to today. And looking forward, my goodness, what the future holds is just so exciting.
It is.
What do you see as perhaps the 3 most promising technologies of the future?
Well, right now, Office 365 is huge for St. Lucie County. One of the, the major goals is that we want our students to be ready for the future. We want them to be college and career ready, so that when they leave us, they can step right into college or into a career and have the tools they need. And if you look at the colleges in Florida, they're using Office 365 right now. So our kids starting, as young as kindergarten have access to that, so the seniors can leave already knowing those tools, not having to learn it. And if they choose not to go to college, they can walk into a career that has those skills needed as well. So we feel like that's really, really important.
And before you go to number 2, let me mention something, because our viewing audience, many of them know, but some may not. Office 365 can be downloaded for home use. We try to promote that within our social media sites.
It can.
But for those that are not aware, something that is available as a resource for our families.
Right. On the parents and students screen of our St. Lucie webpage, there's a link to download Office 365.
Yes.
So, and it's a full-blown version of the latest and greatest Office. So it's 2016 right now.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so that's available. So the web, of course, the cloud and all of that information that's just kind of out there, that's another really big thing. So that allows us to provide curriculum to the kids, research, all that stuff, access to their documents. If they're working on a research paper or something at school, they can continue working at home because it's all available to them wherever they are. They don't have to be on one of our school computers at one of our locations. It's accessible anywhere.
And I'm going to do another little interruption here, because we truly are innovative in our approach to technology. As St. Lucie Public Schools, the things we are doing truly are recognized and innovative. And as a testament to that, in a recent audit, now I'm going to toot your horn for you, because I heard from the gentleman who was doing the audit that within St. Lucie Public Schools, we have 85% of our information being stored in the cloud. And for an organization of this size, really for an organization of any size, that is almost unheard of. And he was just beside himself. He couldn't say enough about what St. Lucie Public Schools was doing. So kudos to you and kudos to our team, because those are great habits to be forming. And you guys have taught us well. I think we're on the right road.
We are taking advantage of that, and that just ties into number 3, which is any device, anywhere. You can use your smartphone, you can use an iPhone, a Android device, any device you have, a tablet, a PC, whatever you have, Mac. It doesn't matter. You can still get to that information, and I think that's huge.
And that goes to the term device agnostic.
Exactly.
A lot of people hear that but aren't really certain what it means. So we aren't depending upon a certain tool for our students. We know people have certain preferences, and we try to be flexible with that in what we're able to provide and the resources that we use. All right. So that then leads us to something that is very important for all citizens, and that is being responsible with how we utilize our resources. And within our own St. Lucie Public Schools and those who partner with us, we do try to support the fact that when students are using devices, when students are accessing the internet, when our teachers are coaching and helping to support, that the idea of being responsible with the use of tools really is so important, because what you do today is a footprint that stays with you not only for tomorrow, but it's there forever.
Right.
And so as our students are working to support their credentialing for future jobs, college and career readiness, employers will be researching what has been done, and it is very important. How do you all help with that?
So we are very, we strongly enforce all the SIPA and the FERPA and all those other different security policies. And when we have those little baby kindergartners on the technology, we want to make sure that they are going to safe places. We don't want them, going somewhere inadvertently that's just going to be a scary place or an unsafe place. We have filters in place that actually, monitor and allow or block access to, certain sites. But at the same time, we understand that our high school students, the older students, they've got to have access to different things, to research or, more of their curriculum-based things. And we have the ability to allow that based on the population. Just like people in payroll need access to things that maybe HR or maybe a classroom teacher wouldn't need access to, but we are able to control all of that and really monitor it.
Right. And it does, again, happen rather seamlessly. And if there's a question or a concern, I know that our team here in ITS is very open to hearing the whys and the needs of our end user, just as customer service is something that is very important. And so we do have policies and procedures in place to vet through some of those things, so that really what we're doing is making sure that we are providing the best for what the end user need is, and at the same time making sure that the environment is as safe as possible.
Right, and we want to make sure and protect any of that personal identification information that we have on our employees or on our students. We want to make sure that it's not just out there for anybody to access. It needs to be, in a safe and secure location with only, specific people that are authorized to use it. So that's another thing that we are very, very careful of.
Yep. So we've touched upon customer service, and I know as we came through those double doors at the beginning of your department, the introduction into ITS, there's so much in the way of customer service that is very visible within this department. In fact, your customer service department, your service and help desk, is one of the first areas that we passed. And customer service is very important. In fact, one of the mantras of ITS, it's a neat little play on words. ITS, it's your department, is something that you all are very fond of saying. Why is that so important to ITS, a technical department, in the scope of things? Tell me why you all take that to heart.
Well, our customers are the reasons we have jobs. We have to provide that. We have a very valuable service that we provide to them. Access to the technology they need to do their jobs, to get to their curriculum, all of that sort of thing. And we want to make sure that they, are taken care of. Technology can be a bit frustrating every once in a while, and we don't want it to be that. We want to be able to at least make their contact with us, a little less frustrating for them, and to be able to help them resolve problems quickly and efficiently, and just try and make technology, I think you mentioned it, seamless, so that it just kind of integrates into their everyday when it just works automagically.
Right. Automagically is a nice word, and I think that's a word too that has been coined by our IT friends.
Yes.
And with anything there's a learning curve, but with technology there's a will to learn, and so perhaps we learn a bit more quickly, and sometimes it is just a little bit of coaching that we need, and you all have multiple ways in the works for us to access that help. I know I personally have benefited from many of them, so just share with our viewers the multiple ways in which people can access help from our IT team.
Well, I think the probably easiest, most efficient, and you get a real live person is calling the technical service desk, 429-HELP. and a real person will answer the phone and help you resolve the question or the problem or whatever as soon as they can. And if they can't do it right then on the phone with you, then they will create a ticket and assign it to a technician who can either remotely fix the problem or come and visit you in your classroom or wherever you are and resolve it that way. You can also, if you don't have time to call and don't want to take the time, you can go online and actually fill out a Viper ticket and just put in the needed information, and then it will get routed to the correct individuals. And then techs are in schools, and while they may appear to be on a mission and on their way to do something, if you just say, hey, by the way, and they may say, you know what, if you just submit a ticket, then I'll be able to remember that and we'll make sure and get it done. But it may just be a really easy question of, oh, you just click here and do that, and then it's resolved. So we're always willing to help.
And that's something too that you just mentioned. While our IT is this hub,
Right.
we do have our technicians out in the schools, and I think that's something we mentioned earlier in the show, is that this is, the wagon wheel,
Right.
and those are the spokes. And so technicians out in the schools, so very important. You all never seem to miss that personal touch, and we do appreciate it. And we are just about ready to wrap up the show, but I have one very, very important thing to ask you.
Okay.
And Julie, STEM is something that we hear so much of in school and in the workforce. STEM, as you know, stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we've got a great deal of emphasis being placed in education right now to ramp up those studies and provide opportunities. And one of the things we are really trying to do is encourage more and more of our female students to be candidates for those programs, to determine how we can get more involvement and more engagement in those programs. I've admired you for so long, and I've seen you move through your career, and you're such a testament to what it means to do this job and do it well and provide great customer service at the same time. What is it about technology that thrilled you? And then take a look at your own department, and how do you see women moving forward in this particular department?
It's exciting. Technology is changing all the time. It's never boring.
Mm-hmm.
We never know what to expect, and there's always something new that's coming up, and it's just fun, and it's fun to find ways to share that excitement with our end users and think of ways that they can enhance their curriculum and all of that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Our department right now has 50% of our department is women, and that is something that I think is just outstanding. It's, that I can remember times sitting in meetings when maybe I was the only woman in there among all the men, but it's changing, and I think that that's something that's really, really exciting. Our entire department, I just have to toot our horn a little bit. We have such diversity in our department. We have people from all over the world, all kinds of different states and cities, and they just bring so many experiences and so much knowledge and so many great stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really, really fun to work in a department like that that's changing all the time. And one of the things that is so neat right now that's happening is that we actually have kids who have gone through the system, who started in kindergarten in our schools, have graduated, gone on to university, and come back. And actually the last 3 employees that I've hired are St. Lucie County graduates. And I just think, isn't that the coolest thing ever?
That is
that
wonderful.
They come back,
Yes.
and that we can put them to work.
And so St. Lucie County really is a great place to live, to learn, to work, and to grow.
Absolutely.
We do have something for everyone.
We do.
And Julie, I thank you for spending time with us today, giving us this behind-the-scenes tour of ITS and letting us know exactly what it is that St. Lucie Public Schools is so very proud of as far as being proactive in its technology.
You're very welcome.
And thank you to our viewing audience for tuning in to Eye on St. Lucie. For up-to-date happenings on what is going on in your St. Lucie Public Schools, please stay in tune with us on our social media outlets. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We look forward to seeing you on our next show.